Good afternoon, my JCHs. It's Mrs. Guerrero, and I'm here to read you another story. This story is called My Name is Gabriela. The reason why I have selected this story is because we're still honoring our Latino Hispanic Heritage Month, and this story is about a young woman who is actually from the country of Chile that is in South America. So this is called My Name is Gabriela. And before I read the story, I do want to take a moment to read you a little bit about Gabriela so that you know who she is and why she was a positive influence on the Latinx Hispanic community. So Gabriela Mistral was born in the year 1889 in Vicuña, a small town in northern Chile in South America. Her parents named her Lucila, but Gabriela Mistral was a name that she chose for herself. Gabriela was creative and loved learning and teaching so much that she became an elementary school teacher at the very young age of 15. So she was only 15 years old when she became an elementary teacher. Gabriela also loved to write. Reading and writing opened up the world to her. She began writing poems while she was young and published over 30 collections of poetry in her whole entire lifetime. And throughout her life, she continued to teach and write about education, traveling all over the world to improve schools. She loved helping children. One of the highlights of her life came in the year 1945 when she became the first Latin American writer to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature, a very special award given only to one writer each year. So in the whole entire year, one writer receives this award, and Gabriela was the one to receive it. She will be remembered always for her poetry and for the way she helped shape education in Latin America. Gabriela Mistral teaches us to believe in the power of our own voices, no matter where we come from, what we look like, how young or old we are, how rich or poor we are. So I hope you enjoy the story with me. My name is Gabriela Mistral. It is a name I chose myself because I like the sound of it. I love words and sounds and stories. When I was a little girl, I lived with my mother and Emilina, my sister, in a small house in the beautiful Elqui Valley in Chile. From my bedroom window, I could see the Andes Mountains. When I couldn't sleep, I would look up at the mountains and wonder, what could be beyond them? Zebras with polka dots, rainbow colored flowers, angels reading books. I loved words. I liked the sounds they made rolling off my tongue, and I liked the way they could express how I felt. When I saw a butterfly fluttering, I noticed the way the words fluttering butterfly sounded together, like a poem. I taught myself to read so that I could read other people's words and stories. I read stories about princes and princesses, about witches and monsters, and about birds and flowers. I also like to write poems, sing songs, and tell stories using the words that I knew. I told stories about happy times and sad times, about mothers and babies and little children. I like to play school with the children of my village. I pretended to be the teacher, and my friends, Sofia, Ana, and Pedro, were my pupils. Pedro would always say that I was mean because I made him write his ABCs until he knew all the letters of the alphabet. But I told him that the alphabet is important. How else would he create words and tell his stories without it? In our pretend class, we sang songs like The Baby Chicks Are Singing. So it says, The baby chicks are saying peep, peep, peep. It means they're cold and hungry. It means they need some sleep. That was Sophia's favorite song during recess. We had fun running and chasing and laughing and playing. When I grew up, I became a real teacher and writer. I taught the children of Chile, and many of my students became teachers themselves. I still wrote poems, happy poems, sad poems, stories of mothers and children, but I also wrote poems about animals, about parrots and peacocks and even rats. I also traveled to faraway places. I never saw zebras with polka dots or rainbow colored flowers, but I met wonderful children and their teachers. I traveled to Europe, to France, and Italy. I traveled to Mexico. I traveled to the United States. Everywhere I went, I wrote and taught and met teachers. I saw how all people wanted their children to learn. My stories traveled the world with me. People like to read my happy stories, my sad stories, my stories of women and children, my stories of parrots and peacocks, of old lions, and of all the fisher folk who slept in the sand and dreamt of the sea. And because people from all over the world loved my stories so, I was given a very special prize, the Nobel Prize for Literature. When I accepted the grand award, I thought of the beautiful mountains outside of my window in Chile, of my mother and sister, of the children of my village, and of all the stories that still need to be told. The end. So, friends, I hope you enjoyed this story. This story, right here, was actually a gift that was given to me by someone that I admire very much in education. And I am very happy that this was a gift because I've been able to enjoy it myself and really get to learn more about someone who had a positive influence on the Latinx Hispanic community. Because, my friends, I just want us to know that our community and our culture is beautiful and that writing and reading will take us to so many places. And I think that's what Gabriela was trying to teach us, that writing and reading can take you to places all over the world. And it's just another opportunity for us to learn about another person in our community who had a positive influence and who did make a positive change for education. So until the next time, until our next story, I'm going to say goodbye. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.